Storm, earth, and fire, heed my call.
What's up everyone, it's Waves and today I got another Mythic Plus commentary video for you guys. I know it is another Necrotic Wake, which we already had one and I'm trying to do every dungeon. But today we got a Necrotic Wake again, because this one is slightly different. First of all, it's not a 17, but it's rather a 20. And on the other hand, I played some different soulbinds and conduits, which in retrospect I was actually kinda inting by playing that. A short backstory, in earlier keys, since this is during the Fortified week, that was last week. In earlier keys I was testing out Hailstorm, and I got recommended by a viewer in my chat to play Hailstorm and the left trait on Nadia to get a second potency conduit and play Chill to the Core. Which Chill to the Core will give you per target hit a 25% chance to get 2 Maelstrom stacks back whenever you press Frost Shock. Which is really interesting actually, and makes the Hailstorm playstyle way more smooth. And so I tried it out in previous keys, and in this key I switched back to Elemental Assault, but forgot to switch the Chill to the Core conduit, right? So in this Necrotic Wake I'm kinda playing like a combination. Like I'm playing Elemental Assault with Chill to the Core, which is kinda weird, but I guess we will see how it worked out, and I'd say we just start right up and start the key right here. So we got a 10-second pull timer. Again, standard stuff, you know what's about to happen at 1 second. Obviously we're gonna use the Feral Spirits to get the Maelstrom weapon stacks rolling. And as you know me, if you've seen like a few of my high keys on stream, you know what's about to happen on the first pull, right? A bit over motivated. Actually, we cage the Harvester right here and I grab the hammer. Pay attention to the hammer. The hammer will have an giga important role in this key. So first pull, Bloodlust. I go in, I use my cooldowns, and you know what's about to happen, right? Yeah, exactly. Insta that in the first few seconds of the key. That's probably a good omen for the rest of the key, as it happens to me very often, you know. So I instantly get back into the fight though. Obviously that's not the end of the key if I just die in the beginning, that's just how it is sometimes. And yeah, we're just playing the first pack here, pretty standard stuff. Trying to not extend the bursting stacks too hard. Obviously sometimes it's not avoidable, but yeah, we actually get really close to dying here. Nami actually ends up dying, which I'd say the first pull was really messy in this key. But I promise you this key gets really interesting later on, right? There's multiple stuff going on that will be pretty new for some of you guys, I guess. It was new to me at least, since it was the first really high Necrotic Wake that I played. So yeah, as you can see I didn't use the hammer, since as I already told you, it will have a really important role in this key. So pay attention to whenever I'm using the hammer. Yeah, next pack, they are just really annoying. Like this trash pack right here, they jump around all the time. You need a lot of interrupts, and also like interrupts that aren't like kicks, you know, for some of the stuff. So you just want to AoE stun them. We get the beam here, which is nice, and just try to get them down as fast as possible to minimize the damage that is coming into the group from them. It's a rather slow pack since we just used Bloodlust and all of our cooldowns on the first pack. So on this one we're taking it slow a tiny bit, as you can see. My AoE Capstone Totem comes in. Actually our Demon Hunter is doing a lot of damage, which is nice, since as I said we don't really have any cooldowns left, so the DPS are not really doing that much. At least me and the Druid are not. Bruno's still blasting. And we get the first Pride of the dungeon. So I do have Chain Harvest. I'm sorry that it's hard to see the Chain Harvest here on my weak aura, since the hammer kinda overlaps with it. You can also watch down here in my action bar, you can see the Chain Harvest icon as well. Just keep that in mind, that it may be hard to see throughout the key, since I'm actually holding on onto the hammer for a while in this key. So yeah, first Pride. I don't know if that was a combustion. I didn't really see it. Maybe it was a combustion. I can imagine it was. I also used Chain Harvest, so combustion and Chain Harvest. We activate the Goliath here into the first boss. Obviously, we don't have Bloodlust for the first boss. As you guys know, we used it on the first pull. So just the orbs that we collect here and the Pride buff, which obviously should be more than enough. I also got Wolves, Ascendance back. I got Doom Winds. We actually pull those 3 enemies in, which is really interesting. We get some more cleave, and I, as an Enhancement Shaman, can actually funnel more damage into the boss. We actually got more of the small ones pulled. So the Druid is going ham with 34k DPS. I'm doing 25, 28 actually. The tank doing tons of damage as well. So this is just a really efficient pull, which obviously if you play a really high key, like the 20s, 21s, whatever, you need to be very efficient with your pulls. And you need to get more and more risky with your pulls, right? Since the more risky your pull is, the more efficiency you can get out of it if it goes well, right? Which is what you want to do in higher keys, and I just got used to that by playing a few higher keys with this group, and it's actually a lot of fun. And as you can see, it's really rewarding as well, since we pulled it off, the boss is almost dead, all of the trash is dead, so it was a really efficient pull right there. And yeah, boss is down to 14%. We're just trying to finish him off here. Obviously this is gonna take a bit now, since even if it's still the fortified week, as I said, this key was recorded last week. You can see it was the 6th of March, so quite a few days ago. Yeah, even on fortified, bosses have a lot of HP in 20 keys and higher, so definitely kinda scary, but we got it done. It just took us a while. And now we can continue to a rather big pack actually, which I'm gonna have Doom Winds for. No other cooldowns for this one. Actually not even Sunder ready. But I'm gonna use Doom Winds. First Global Crash Lightning to get as many Crash Lightnings into the Doom Winds window as I can. Could have gotten one more in. Not really actually. It was 3. I could maybe have gone for 4 Crash Lightnings. If I spam Chain Lightning way more, but 3 is definitely fine. So doing that. Also we had a combustion rolling from Bruno, so the pack just melts away. I think the Druid is just holding his cooldowns, which is fine. We don't want to overkill, obviously. I can only tell you guys this in every single video that I do on higher keys. Don't just throw your cooldowns out on a pack like from your whole group. Definitely pay attention to who uses cooldowns when, and be sure to not overlap them that way. Which obviously you can see again in the top left corner, as always, that we are in Discord together and we're actually talking about our cooldown usages, like who has what ready and who wants to use what at what situation. So yeah, keeping attention to that. This is also a rather annoying pack, since in the beginning they were pretty split, so we couldn't like get the cleave onto all of them. Since I was doing Wolves Doom Winds here, and I only got to use it on 2 targets instead of 3, which was quite unfortunate, but it's still fine. It's just a tiny time loss, you know, not the end of the world. It's just something that you can optimize, you know. You can definitely improve on that mistake right there, or I can. At least. So yeah, as you can see, the Fleshcrafter, it just takes a while to take him down. It's just rather annoying to deal with him, to be honest. It's not even, I don't think it's even the point that he was outside in the beginning. It's that he was outside in the beginning, right? Because I think he's the one with the most HP of the 3. So the fact that he was standing outside is actually pretty bad. Since he takes longer to kill anyways. So it would have been nice to have them all grouped up and just funnel the damage into him, rather than just having 2 of them. So there's the next Pride. We use Convoke. You can just see our Druid going ham on this. You can also still see that I'm playing Chill to the Core. I don't know if you've noticed it at any point, but keep attention when I use Frost Shock, which obviously, since I'm not playing Hailstorm, I won't press Frost Shock too often. But sometimes I still have to in my rotation, and then you can actually see sometimes I get 2 Maelstrom weapon stacks. which is obviously not the build that I was going for, but it's obviously not that bad, right? I mean, it has some benefit to it, so I guess it's kind of okay. Right here we got the Pride buff rolling. We're just waiting for the buffs from the Goliath to the left here, and then we will do a rather big pull. So I'm trying to get an orb here. Yes, I got it. And now I'm actually gonna use, I think I'm using everything, Wolves, Ascendance, Doomwinds, and I'm just gonna pump here. Yeah, as you can see, 30, 35 KDPS, 40 KDPS, Bruno's going ham as well. We got Ashen Hollow down, so we're just blasting this pack, like straight up, and it's already gone. I got 2 more seconds of Ascendance, so maybe it was wasted to some extent, you could argue, I give you that. But yeah, so here we want to stealth skip the next packs, and there's something really interesting that you can do as a Venthyr. So the Druid walks through, the Mage goes through with invisibility, and the Demon Hunter as well. And Nami and me, we're still waiting here, right? Since Nami tries to do... Oh, Nami actually wants to die, since her Invis potion wasn't ready. Sorry guys, I'm just remembering it as I'm seeing it as well. It's been a few days. But I actually just walked to here and use my Door of Shadows to port over. And it's actually far enough to skip the trash without pulling. Which we weren't 100% sure about, which is why Nami died here. She could have done that as well in retrospect, since she's a Venthyr Paladin as well. But yeah, now we know that it's actually possible to do that. I actually talked about that in the 17 Necrotic Wake, but in this case we actually just didn't even think about it until I remembered it and tested it out, and it worked. So next time we know that all of our Venthyr players don't need to use Invis potions, but can rather just skip it that way, you know. So on these 2 here on the Marauders, we didn't break the shield on both of them in the beginning, which is really unfortunate when it comes to the timing. But that's just how it is in this case. We just wait for the next shields, and then we actually beat the shields and just kill them that way. So you can see the shield breaks, he instantly dies. The other guy as well, we break the shield and he instantly dies. And at this point, we get to a really interesting situation in the dungeon, which you will see in a second, right? So we got 1 more pack right here, the Necromancer with all the tiny skeletons around him, and I think I could have used some cooldowns in this situation, but I'm actually saving all of my cooldowns, and you will see in a second why I did this. Since the pull that we do after this one is actually it's just crazy, okay? You're gonna see what I'm talking about. It's gonna be a really crazy pull. So right here I'm just, you can see I got Doomwinds ready, and in retrospect, since I know what's gonna happen in the key, I could have used Doomwinds here. I maybe could have actually even used Wolves here, but I'm not doing it. I'm just saving everything because I know what crazy pull is coming up after this one. So yeah, I'm just crash lighting, I'm just cleaving them down. Pretty much we just want to kill the Necromancer anyways. So yeah, Necromancer goes down, the trash is done, and now we wait. Since we can't activate the Goliath yet, right? Since we still have cooldown on it, the Demon Hunter at least, since he's the Kyrian in our group. So we just have to wait, and it's really weird, right? I told you about this before. I think it was in the Spire's key, where we actually waited around for some time, right? And this was a 20 as well. So sometimes it's really important to take time to set up pulls that will gain you time if you actually like execute them perfectly. You will actually save time by doing that, even though you have to spend the time beforehand to wait around not doing anything. Like you can still see, we're standing around for like a minute, not doing anything. And it's crazy. Like I will actually not skip this, okay? We will actually just wait and see what happens here. So the Druid, I actually didn't pay attention what happened to the Druid, but he died. Maybe he died earlier and tried to walk back and they caught him. I don't want to go back and check now. I guess you guys will have seen it in the video. Yeah, I assume he died on the pack and walked back basically and died again. So we're still just waiting. The Druid is just getting a food buff, I guess. So as soon as he's done and he joins us, I think we will start the pull. And this next pull, I think we will pull like 2 or 3, maybe even 4. I think it's actually 4 groups of enemies and just blast them away. I think we will Bloodlust. We will have the Goliath buff. We have all the cooldowns in the world, and we will just go ham on like 3 or 4 packs. And pay close attention to the trash count that we get from one pull, because it's really efficient, right? So we activate the Goliath here, and check this out. Check this out what we are pulling, right? So the tank goes in, he pulls those 2, he pulls the big pack, he pulls the small ones to the right, and he goes all the way to the back and pulls the 2 guys as well. I interrupt this guy here, so they are all grouped up, and yeah, let's just see what happens. We actually don't even Bloodlust here. We don't even Bloodlust. This is 4 packs. I'm doing over 40k DPS. The tank is doing 40k DPS. The mage is doing 40k DPS. And everything just vanishes. This was 14% of trash count in one pull. Right? So this was actually crazy. And we still got some cooldowns rolling going into the Pride buff, which is actually crazy. Like, this pull was so efficient that it was worth like waiting around for like a minute and not doing anything. So yeah, definitely think about doing pulls like this. It can actually pay off in the end if you do. So really interesting, really interesting. It was the first time that I ever did something like this, like in such an extreme way, I'd say, that we just like straight up just stand around for 1 minute in a fucking 20 key. It was so bizarre to me to see this, but it paid off. It paid off, and now we're skipping this pack. I actually use my Invis here. The mage breaks stealth here. I try to go around, but I get caught in combat as well, since he already fucked it up there, which is unfortunate, but that's just how it is sometimes. At least we got the druid. He went through. He reses Nami, and Nami will just master rest all of us, and we'll be good to go. So there's the res on her, and she's casting the master rest on all of us, and then we're through. Obviously it wasn't perfect, but as long as we don't fuck it up completely, like that it's not manageable anymore, we're good to go. And I do remember, actually, now that I see it, what happens in this dungeon, in this boss fight, sorry. So we use Bloodlust here, and we start damaging the boss. I use Doomwinds here. I didn't have Wolves or Ascendance ready. I do have Wolves now ready, but I decided to not use them anymore since my Doomwinds window is already over, basically. And on this boss, you have to kill all of the ads before he does the final harvest. If there's an ad alive that is not CC'd when he casts final harvest, you pretty much die, right? Which is why we want to CC the mages, right? We want to CC the mages, and you can see we wipe here, which is definitely really bad. You can see the reanimated mage. We just want to CC them outside of the pack, kill all the other guys, and then kill it that way, right? But in this case, the repentance on the mage broke. We beamed him into Hodge, and he's Hodged right here, but still, yeah, we die since he was still alive and next to the boss. So we wipe here, which is definitely unfortunate, but we can still recover from this. Necrotic Wake is a very forgiving dungeon, okay? So keep that in mind. The tank resets the boss, so we don't have to walk back. I think if we had to walk back, we would have lost way more time, right? So the Demon Hunter comes back, he battle rests the healer, and Nami just master rests all of us. Obviously we lost Bloodlust, and again you can see, even on high keys, the keys are forgiving enough for you to make big mistakes. Like, this was a big mistake. This was not like a small oopsie where someone died and we just res him up. This was a big mistake, and we can still recover from that, which is really important. So we don't have Bloodlust now, and let's see how we handle it differently in this attempt, right? So we pull the boss right here. Obviously you always also want to interrupt the Necrotic Bolt that the boss is casting. That's really important as well. it will be even more difficult, or not difficult, important in tyrannical weeks, obviously. So we definitely need to spend way more attention onto killing the ads in this one. As you can see, we get the repentance on the mage again. We just focus down all the other ads to make sure that they actually die. You want to dodge the breath as well, really important. If you stand in the breath, you're pretty much dead. So yeah, we get the chain, the Ashen Hollow down. Final Harvest goes through, but still he's in repentance. The mage, that is. We're pretty much safe, and the boss is already down to like 50%, even though we didn't have Bloodlust. So I think we're on a good way actually, since we had cooldowns back, obviously, since we died. So yeah, Bloodlust definitely not 100% needed in this case. And this is where it gets really messy, right? So again, we want to CC one mage, which you can see to the right. He's in repentance again. We want to kill the other mage, okay? So we're not CCing both of them. We try to kill all the others, which worked out in this case. The other one is still in repentance, so we should be fine on this Final Harvest. Just waiting for it to go off, and we're all fine. Pretty much just easy right there. And the last set of ads, I'm gonna tell you guys, the last set of ads is gonna be, it's gonna be really interesting. Okay, let's say that. So we get the interrupts on the boss just as always. One of the mages is far away to the left there. I actually die here and I instantly Ankh, since the group is very low, as you can see. So wait, did I use a Chain Harvest there? Oh yeah, I actually used the Chain Harvest here to heal the group a bit up and to get the ads down, since obviously you can see the Final Harvest is about to happen in 7 seconds. This ad is what we wanted to kill, right? We wanted to kill this one, but we couldn't get it into the group. So we beam it here, and in the last second here, as you can see, in the last second, we get the Hodge off onto him, and yeah, he's CC'd while the Final Harvest goes off. Actually, I can't explain to you guys why on the first one the mage was hodged as well, but we died on the first one. But this time he was hodged and we didn't. If anyone in the chat can explain to me why we wiped on the first time and we didn't wipe the second time, that would be really interesting. Since I'm telling you guys, I'm not an expert when it comes to Mythic Plus, right? I'm learning a lot still in these dungeons. So if you know what the difference was there, since I'm not 100% sure, be sure to let me know. There's so much that I can still learn about the keys. I would definitely appreciate you guys letting me know what the interaction there was that made us wipe the first time and not wipe the second time. But yeah, we got the boss down. And we fly up to this room. This room is actually pretty annoying. There's a lot of trash that's really scary in some cases. So we instantly go in, we do a big pull. I got Ascendance and Doomwinds ready in like 1 second. So I'm just letting the tank get some aggro. He's actually doing 120k DPS. I mean, okay. Obviously he used some of the dungeon items, maybe the spear or something like that, you know. One of the items. And just went ham. Like 166k DPS. That's just wild. We actually die here to the bursting stacks, since he went completely ham on them. Actually, my hair is crazy. What the fuck? Let me fix that for a second while we're just flying back with the angels. I'm sorry for fixing my hair. Yeah, there you could see it. I hovered over his damage. It was all just basically the spear. So 132k on that pull from the tank. That's just insane. But that's also something that you have to know about, right? Like we knew that we could do such a big pull because the tank could use that item, right? And to just pull one normal pack and him using the item would be wasted, okay? So definitely think about the potential that these items hold. And by the way, you can still see I still have the hammer because I'm holding onto it for a really important moment. Still, even though we're getting close to the end of the dungeon. So right here, really interesting pull actually. We root this guy back here that's like throwing the axes, and we use that to kill off the creation, right? And we keep him rooted back there so he wouldn't die, since we can actually use him in future packs as well, not only on this one, right? So with the cleaver that he throws, you can actually throw that onto the Pride. Like, even the Pride was still spawning and it wasn't attackable for us, but he already soaked a cleaver and is down to 80% HP right as it spawns, right? Which is a really good strategy to use right here. Unfortunately, we missed the reroute there, so it's gonna be a bit harder to get the cleavers onto the Pride. I'm doing it right here, it's on me. I stand behind the Pride and it instantly takes a big chunk of HP off the Pride again. So definitely keep that in mind. A very good trick to do that with the Flash Crafter here. And I can definitely recommend to you guys to use that trick. It saves you a lot of time, especially in higher keys, since the higher the key, the more HP the Pride has, obviously. So definitely big value in that trick. Again, we take him into this pull as well. This is actually a very scary pull, since this Stitch work, at least that's what it was for me. If he casts like the ground effect on you, that actually does a ton of damage. I actually think, oh, it's not even in this pack. It's the one that spawns afterwards, right? Like when you did the two guys in the middle, the one that spawns afterwards is the one that's really scary. So this one was kind of okay. As you could see, it died really quickly. And yeah, now we're just finishing off the trash pack. It actually started raining really loud outside. I hope that it doesn't bother you, or that it doesn't get picked up by my mic. So if you can hear the rain outside, I'm sorry for that. So yeah, next pack, again, only 3 targets. We get a follow here. Again, I apologize for the follows and subs sometimes in the videos, but these are just stream recordings, right? So that's just how it is for now. I actually use Ascendance to wins here, since I know the boss is still a few packs away, and I know that I will have them back up again. On top of that, I know no one's using cooldowns on this pack. It's still 3 enemies, so it's fine for me to use cooldowns here, I think. And you can see I got full value out of my cooldowns, and the trash is still not dead. So definitely worth using there, in my opinion. And yeah, we get those 2 down. We are already at 92% trash, so we're pretty much done. Obviously, there's exactly 3 more packs to come. It's those 2 here, which on those 2, you gotta keep attention. You gotta pay attention to 2 things. If you're targeted by the cleaver like this, figure out which one is targeting you and stand behind the other one, right? Since sometimes it can be confusing, since 2 people will get it at the same time. Actually, you can get it from both, which then you just have to choose one side and actually have to soak 1 cleaver. So yeah, keep a defensive ready for that. Right here, I figure out which one is on me. Again, stand behind him and just let him throw the cleaver onto the other guy, basically. And you also gotta pay attention to the focus, like the fixate mechanic. Sometimes they fixate on one player and follow them around, right? And then you have to kite that, which is really important. But we get them down here. Not the most efficient trash. It takes some time to kill them, which is kind of annoying, but that's just how it is. You gotta deal with it. And now we actually get to the second to last boss. Gore Grind. On Gore Grind, you actually want to pay attention to the frontal. You definitely don't want to get hit by the frontal, since that will instantly kill you. Fortified, a plus 20 key. Yeah, that's just straight up a one-shot. It's even a one-shot in lower keys. So yeah, definitely be careful about that one. I also use the wins here again to just get some more damage in, since the boss is still a few minutes away. Our mage uses cooldowns as well here, so the trash is still so healthy, right? The Gore Grind is still at 50% HP after I used cooldowns and the mage used combustion, so you can see how much value the cooldowns have in those trash packs. So definitely be sure to use them. And now we're just cleaving. The tank has to kite here. Again, it's kiting meta. You know how it is. The tanks will have to kite quite a bit in some keys. So that's just how it is. Be sure to adapt to it. not get like frustrated about it. It's nothing that you can do about it, you know. So yeah, slowly and steady we get this trash pack down. Second to last one again, as I mentioned already. Now we're heading over to the last trash pack, and this is the guy, Rod Spew, that I told you about. Okay, the attack that this guy does, if you're not topped, this can one-shot you. Okay, so obviously the mutilate is kinda scary. I topped the group off here with Chain Harvest because there it was, the disease on the ground, that you can see the green ground effect on the ground. If that is on you and you're not topped, like right here, you're just dead, right? Let's go back and see for how much that hit me, right? So I was at 79% HP right here. Actually 75. From 75%, this hits me down to 8%. And I wasn't ready for that, to be honest, to hit me that hard. And I'm playing full burst, by the way, right? Like, I'm playing full burst in high keys. And this still hits me for such a big chunk of HP. And I try to run out of it, but it just ticks me down. I could have health potioned there, but as I said, I didn't expect so much damage coming in. So, mistake on my end. I could have used the health potion, that's true. But I knew it for the next time. So right here I actually used the health potion and the healing surge to make sure that I don't die. I also used Doom Winds since it's the last pack before the boss. But obviously we got a Pride again. Same argument as always. Think about the Prides, how much time they will take if you use Doom Winds there or not. I don't, so I can use the Doom Winds on the Rod Spew to make sure that we get him down. And now we're spawning the last Pride of the dungeon. And we will get this one down, and then we're pretty much good to go to the last boss. Oh, actually, let me move my mouse. Sorry for that. I don't think. Oh, we're actually using a combustion here, since again he won't have combustion ready for the pull of the boss, but the boss has like the phase where we're fighting the creation in the beginning before we pull down the actual boss. So yeah, we're still fine on that. I actually die here and the group is really low. You can see like this Pride is actually just pumping us and we're getting really close. I get battle rest here. Nami, I think she got a proc there or some crits and just topped the group, which if we died right here, like wiped, the key would have been done. Like even now, we got 6 minutes for 2 bosses on a 20. So it doesn't really look that good, right? So right here we get the first hook and we hook down the boss. We want to one face him, right? That's our goal. So unfortunately I don't have Ascendance ready. If I had it, it would have been way easier to one face him. But we're just blowing all that we have into Surge and Stitch Flash and just try to burn him down as good as we can. I'm not really sure. No, I don't think the mage has combustion ready just yet. So, oh, he actually did. Okay, so we're still trying to burn him down. Unfortunately, it doesn't really work. I actually messed this up right here. That's my bad. Like this creation, I don't know if it would have died earlier, right? Since we don't one-face him right here. We don't one-face the boss. Actually, give me 1 second to get rid of my hair. It's actually triggering me. Give me 1 second. I will cut the video right here. Alright, that's the last time I'm ever recording a video without wearing a hat. If I don't cut my hair before that. That was annoying. So we continue and the boss jumps back, right? The boss jumps back onto his position and the creation is actually targeting me with the hook, right? But he's at 3% HP. So I actually don't realize it quick enough that we could have maybe stopped damage. Maybe the dots would have killed him anyways. But we could have stopped and I could have hooked the boss down. And yeah, it just dies before that, unfortunately. So we have to wait for a new creation. It's really unlucky that we didn't one-face him. Especially since we don't have a lot of time left for this boss, right? So yeah, right here. I could have also used my hammer, obviously, to finish him off. That would have worked. But as I already mentioned multiple times, I'm keeping the hammer for a a rather important moment in this key. So we get the next hook, and we just finished the boss that way. It basically just took us a bit longer to do, but it's not that big of a deal. So yeah, I placed the next hook onto him for some extra damage, and we killed the boss right here. We used the portal to go up to the last boss, and we got a tiny bit over 4 minutes for the last boss. Again, 18 deaths. We didn't play this key really good. Let's just say it how it is. We had a lot of fuck ups, but again, if you play really efficient pulls, the key can be really forgiving for other mistakes that you do. So we actually we take the time to get the food buff right here, right? So all of us eat buff food, and we pull the boss. We got Bloodlust running. We got all of our cooldowns. I don't have wolves right here, but it's okay. I'm just gonna use Ascendance and Doomwinds and pump some damage that way. And pretty much we got more hammers and spears and whatever. And we just want to use them as soon as we get out of the Dark Exile, right? Since after the Dark Exile you get a damage buff, okay? And we use that damage buff to use the dungeon items like the hammer and the spear and whatever onto the boss to do massive amounts of damage and finish him off that way, right? So you can see our mage gets the Dark Exile, and mages tend to take a long time to finish the Dark Exile, since obviously they don't want to use combustion on the one guy that's downstairs, but mages don't do any damage outside of combustion, so he will take quite a bit to finish it. But I think he should have an item ready to, once he comes back, use the item and do massive amounts of damage onto the boss. Meanwhile, we're just up top. We're just playing the boss normally, you know. Already below 3 minutes left, so we're actually getting kinda close. I'm also playing the Comet Storm like really weird in this key. Typically, if you're only like 2 melee, you would just like walk around the boss like this, so you don't hit each other. You just walk into the same direction, and that way you have enough room to keep up to keep uptime on the boss all the time. We didn't in this key. I don't know why. It's just a really weird key in general. Like I played really unfocused. I give you that. Like right here, I'm just playing like an idiot. I don't know what's going on. Obviously, I could have done it worse. Like it's not the end of the world, but I could have gotten a bit more uptime. So now it's my turn to go to the Dark Exile. I go down. I wanted to port here, but there are a lot of swirly spawning on me, so I actually stopped doing it. And that's where the boss dies, right? So before I could finish my Dark Exile, the boss dies. As you can see, my usage of the hammer in this dungeon was insane. Definitely can recommend saving it for the whole dungeon, not using it, not getting any value out of it. Insane. That's probably a strategy that I could adapt for the MDI as well. Since, yeah, I gotta say, that definitely was the thing that timed us this key, right? Like, we had a lot of fuck-ups, we did some insane pulls, but I think actually the crazy pulls, like they weren't the reason that we timed this key. I think me holding the hammer the whole dungeon, not doing anything with it, I think that's the kicker, right? That's what timed us the key. And as you can see, obviously we have to count out the Demon Hunter damage, since it was just like that big 170k DPS pull with the spear. And if you count that out, I was actually kinda close to the mage, right? I beat the druid, I was kinda close to the mage, and keep in mind the mage actually used items like the hammer and stuff like that, while I didn't, right? I just held it the whole dungeon. So I think if I used it, I would have actually gotten pretty close to him. So yeah, as I said, I played a really weird build. I played Elemental Assault with Chill to the Core, which doesn't really fit in general, and I still did tons of damage. So definitely an okay key. I mean, we timed it. I'm really happy that we timed a 20 Necrotic Wake, even though it was a really... I can't even explain it. It's just weird, right? It was just a weird key, but it was fun. Maybe you could take some of it. Obviously, I showed a lot of my mistakes in this key as well. Since it wasn't a perfect key, I did a lot of mistakes. So not even I could learn from it. Hopefully you guys can as well. And maybe I did some good stuff as well that you could learn something from, which would be nice, obviously. So that's it for that video. I got some more keys recorded that will come in the near future, in future days. So if you enjoy these videos, be sure to let me know in the comments. Maybe leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. It would be awesome. I appreciate you guys' support. It's been insane lately. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys in the next video on the live stream. Check it out if you like it. Take care and stay healthy, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.